All right, folks, here we go. I had to, as you can see, I ended up using my Infinity cutting utility mat. Made lots and lots of little cuts. It's not perfect. Let's see if we get this up here. I've got some corrections and overspray issues where the tape didn't quite bond. I had to end up cutting an 1/8 inch off of each of the crosses to get them to fit where they're supposed to fit. So whoever came up with this chart doesn't know how to read a fucking ruler because they are off in their millimeter count. And I ended up just using panel lines as guides, and that worked out a hell of a lot better than actually measuring shit. Again, it's one of the reasons I can't stand the fucking metric system. It is, it's a bane. So the tail number wasn't working out, so I went and got some the premium non-stick vinyl or non-permanent vinyl that the wife has for the Cricut, and recut something that doesn't. I probably could have gone with the 307, 309, whatever it is, because now I ended up using where'd it go? Some transfer tape, which basically is a less permanent sticky solution. Peeled these up. Let's just left these numbers on. Took up the transfer tape. I'll show you. So they're in place now. So all I gotta do now is I need to mask around this, mask off the white and the red, and spray the top coat and the bottom coat too. So fortunately, you get to watch me clean up and get back to masking. And hopefully we can get some spraying done here. So let me just save those in case it doesn't come out. So in case it doesn't come out, I basically have a stencil that I can put over and try and spray through that. One for each side. And you can't see it in the cut, but I also cut some other stencils with it just in case that doesn't work out. But I'll keep the transfer tape. No sense throwing out. This stuff is still good. Take the wife's Cricut tools, those away so I don't get any overspray on them, and that would not be good. She probably wouldn't care, but not my tools. Not going to mess with them. Get the good Tamiya tape. Whew. All right. Where's my big roll of tape? I got the big roll of tape as well. So first things first. Let's do this. I'm going to lay down some tape. So now I've got a fresh piece of tape on there. I'm just going to split it in half. Square up the ends. And what we should end up with, shouldn't make that big of a piece. I'll cut that end as well. I'm going to end up with a nice piece of tape. Take this buddy off of here. And so the red is going to be our marker. I could be able to see this and put that right. No. There's the bottom. second half here. Do the top. And I'll show you what I'm... I'll start back here. And then I'm just going to take... Doesn't matter how big it is, just a short piece. All that's going to do is define... I think this comes right in on the red stripe. So the red stripe is running right on that panel line. If I could get it square, it'd be dangerous. Yeah, that will leave white letters with the... So I need to repeat that on the other side. All right, so a nice square end here. Let's see how far I got. One right to the end of that panel line. Just like that. The other half. Here's the cat. She thinks everybody's left. She just woke up. So let's get this. Sorry, I'm off camera. Like I said, we got a lot of touch-ups to do. Looks like that J shifted, but you know what? Who's to say I get everything super square? We'll just cut ourselves a little end piece. And we will lay it. Sometimes it's easier to use your fingers, folks. There's our little box. All right, now I know that what I'm going to need to do, like up here, this we can do pretty easy. All right, here's the end of the white stripe. I can't see what I'm doing. So there's the end. That's where I want my white stripe. Let me just do this off camera. All right, so white stripe, lay the tape down, get a good edge. Just to be safe for overspray. Second one there. And the same thing on this side. Find my edge. A nice clean edge. Boom. Now, just to help out, I'm going to leave a little handle on this side. Beans. So while I got the wide tape out, now we want to go there. Let's get that other side. Just wrap it. Cool beans. And just a little extra protection there. There. So now the bottom, other than this, is ready to go. And I'll just drop my tape. Anyhow. So because this is rounded, we're going to need to cut some strips. And it doesn't really matter what size, as long as they are thin. So I'm just going to lay this piece of tape close to the edge as I can get. Square off. This blade might be getting a little dull. No, it seems to be cutting fine. It's just the tape. Got me a couple of super thins. And I'll go double wide. Give the big tape something to bite into. So on this, it's like 0.9 millimeters, which I don't really care. I just want it thin. And we are going to run it. Start right on that panel line. Look down. This is with a thin tape. I don't know if I got in the way. It helps you track around that pseudo curve just a little bit better. Let's get this out of the way, eh? So now let's see. It's kind of square here, but you have that curve at the bottom, and at the top we're going to have a curve. So yeah, the cat's freaking out over there. I had a good rainstorm and some wind this morning. And now the rain has stopped, so of course that means the cat is ready to go out. fair weather cat for sure. And yeah, I know my hand's blocking, but it's kind of hard to do precision tape lay down and not have your hand in the way. Nope. I saw it as soon as I started pushing. There you go. All right, now. Maybe that'll get out. It's just these narrow tapes. Let's get ourselves another long one. And this is going to be a little bit trickier because I'm going to bisect this. Oh, don't give up the stick tape. There we go. That'll make up for some of that messy taping I had to do earlier. Let's see what I need to do. Let's cut this back here. And then we just need a really tiny little piece of tape here. All I was going to do is it's going to follow that line. Snip, snip. There we go. Now, find her. There we go. Now I get back to the almost 2-inch tape, 50 millimeters, whatever the hell. I don't know anyone who uses millimeters. Tell you what I'm going to do though before I lay that down. I did cut some wider strips. And this is why I did those wider strips. Just to help with a little bit of leak. So now I don't have to be as precise on the curve. What I want to do though is just overlap. Give the big tape something to catch on to. And when I say big tape, I mean a 2-inch wide tape, or just shy of 2-inch wide tape, because God help the Japanese, they could actually make something in real units. Or Europeans, for that matter. Or the rest of the world. Should all go. That would be executive order I could get behind. Let's just make everything in the United States in real units. Get rid of the stupid metric system. One set of socket wrenches. That would be so nice. Oh, just missed the top of that tape. It's okay. This is some tape from earlier, just didn't bother getting it off the board because I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna have to come back and retape. I certainly got one more little patch I need. I love Tamiya tape, but sometimes it can be a real bear to work with. Instead of peeling up, it wants to stick. There's just that one little spot right there. Bang. Now, I'll do the front first. So I'm trying to. So you can see with the curvature, it's not, the tape can't run straight. So now I have that thin tape creating the clean line. So now if this wide tape wants to buckle and wrap, I'm fine with it. As long as it stays on its side of the line, it really doesn't matter. And what I'll do here, just leave myself a handle. And I'll come back with some thinner tape. Oh, it went too wide. I can already see it. It went too wide on the back. I was wondering that might be the case. I didn't double check. So we just peel this back. And that's where a regular old tape, Tamiya tape on a dispenser. I'll do the same thing on this side. Backing out of the way. Then all I have left is this, I believe. 2 pieces of tape will do it. Give ourselves a little tent here. Oh, maybe 3. Let's lay that down. The back's all taped off. Tips are taped off. Wings kind of ready to go. All right. Let's spray the blue. Now the question is, it looks like the blue does not come up the fuselage anywhere. So look at that. Turned on. Step out of the way that we don't want sprayed. Our wax paper. If you follow my channel at all, you know that I hardly ever use wax paper, but I've got it out, so we're going to use it. Get our pressure set right where we want it. And what we said we were going to do, I did change it up just a little bit. Here's the new recipe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 20. I should have taken all the lids off. And I'm going to try and gray it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to tone the whole thing down. With white. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, add the lids back on. So the holder. That little compressor. I've had that compressor for about 8 years. And it really put it through its paces. So, and I'll take an old brush. Mixy mix. Good mix. This should match the color pretty well. I took my other paint pot upstairs. Clean out pot, I should say. This is not really 100% match for Hullabaloo. It's pretty close. Let's readjust here. So I can see what's going on. So. See, nice bright blue. Start back here on the wingtips, or the horizontal stabilizers. Get that edge established into the tape. That is a pretty blue. This side. Trying to do is just get under the strut. Yeah, comes the fun part. Getting that red covered up. Let's establish an edge here. And establish this edge here. Don't worry, we'll come back and get the wheel wells. And so we're probably going to hand paint those. Gonna have to come back and hand paint underneath there. I'm gonna bring this up just. Give me something to work towards when I tape off the blue. actually. You're going to be good. I'm back with a second coat just to make sure we got good coverage. That broken strut didn't really dry well, but we'll deal with it. All right, let's set this aside. Dry now. I did spray the covers, but let's just make sure we have a good color match here. Light dusting can't hurt. All right, put those aside. Since I've got a custom mix, I have no bottle to put it back into. And it's going to take a little while for that dry and cure before we can put the top coat on. I have mixed thoughts about the top color. Do I just want to go all olive just to have that contrast, or do I want to try to splinter pattern? The page that I have does not show a splinter pattern, or if it does, it's really poorly represented, which would not be surprising based on the fact that their measurements were off. And they don't have a color code on there, what they're calling for. So I'm not sure. I may go find. Oh, let's see here. Now we've got this top-down splinter pattern. It's got all the blue up here, which we're not doing. So really, how much of this would you see? A little bit back here. And these tips have been covered up. Maybe just a demarcation line down that way, and the opposite color that way. Don't know. Let's see. Let's see what other color patterns they gave us. So that's that same pattern there, but with the modeling on the side. It's all pretty much one color. I think it might look odd if I just have I'm just looking to see what's what. None of these really have the color bands coming down. Let's see, what do we got on? 7102, they're calling out 02. I don't think that's correct color. 02 is an interior color. Yeah, they're calling for 71 and 02, and that's not right. 71, they call it dark green. I really like this olive, but we're not going to do that. I have this gray green. Anyhow, we'll be back in a bit, and go let that cure, and then tape off the blue. I'm going to decide what I'm going to play with. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have some gray-green because that's what the nose is. It's just, do I go with the RLM 71 as well? Maybe, let me see, you can't see. So maybe a couple of streaks across here. I'll go find a different pattern. Have one come in this way, one go out that way. Turn up that. Run a big band down this way. And then up that way. Splinter patterns are fun. All right, folks, this is where we are. With the blue underneath. That'll make a nice contrast. And I'll finish cleaning up the airbrush, and I'll come back to retape later. And then we'll be on the road to finishing. Later.